Chala, head chala. Dun, 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 dun. That's what this show should have been called in the first place.
Hi, #1 Okarun fan, Annie.
Reading this series because I lost a bet, Minty.
And this is FunUntitled, where we serve every podcast with an FU. And today we're saying FU to
Dandadan. So it's an unknown manga.
until the anime comes out in about a couple months or whenever this episode posts.
I keep forgetting. Why did you start reading this again?
I read it because something on Twitter that's happening is that there's a lot of bot accounts that's just posting like threads for engagement, like, oh, female characters like first introduced and where they are now. And one of them is series where like the first chapter turns you off, but it's actually a really great series. And one of them is a series personally for me is that I don't want to read Undead Unluck because I read the first few chapters and it icked me out. But it's one of like the best apparently. Oh, give it a chance, hear me out. And on the list was Chainsaw Man. And I remember when I first watched Chainsaw Man, I was like, ah, shit, you know, like, I did, like, give up after chapter 10 after Himino threw up in Denji's mouth. But it turned out, like, that was right before it became GO. And the Dandadan was on that list. And, like, it had the most comments of people being like, you have to read, you know, like, first chapter skeezy as fuck. I swear to God, after that, it gets so much better. It doesn't ever hit the chapter 1 ickness ever again.
It's pretty slow though.
It's pretty slow though. It's a hard series to read chapter by chapter. It's a lot funner to read it binge.
So, Dandadan, and the reason I start off with that Dragon Ball song is because apparently the Dandadan is named this way because it's a Dragon Ball opening.
Well, that's a theory. The #1 theory is that it's a Dragon Ball reference. Dan 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 is a GT opening.
GT!
Yeah, I believe so. If Kaiser Neko didn't lead me awry, it should be a GT.
Head chala is just too on the nose apparently.
And I guess Dan is like a Japanese word for story. Like, oh, if this is like a horror story, it's like Kaidan, something like that.
Oh, I see, like Ya's shop.
Yeah, so like the Dandadan is supposed to be either like a Dragon Ball reference or just a myriad of stories.
So Annie, what is Dandadan? We always pronounce it Dandadan with like 4 syllables, when it's supposed to be like 3.
Like, okay, this is how I pronounce it, like, legitly. Dan. I like mine better. Bobo just taught us to add more syllables in. You gotta admit, it's the most interesting, like, 2-word synopsis, you know? Not 2 words, 2 sentence. Is Momo Ayase does not believe in aliens but believes in ghosts. Okarun believes in aliens, does not believe in ghosts. And the two tries to convince each other.
Okay, but to be fair though, look at the series overall. It's not really about that.
It's not. You have to admit, it's a good chapter 1, like, catch.
If you're thinking it's gonna be like romance, like it sounds like a shoujo tagline. You know what I mean?
You know what?
Like,
yeah, it does.
Mixed vegetables, she's the daughter of a pastier, but she wants to be a sushi chef, while he's the son of a sushi chef, but wants to be a pastier.
Yeah, I like mixed vegetables.
That was a good series, actually.
No one knows what that is. There cannot be anyone who knows.
So that's why Dandadan felt to me it was gonna be like that. Because Shonen Jump does have some romance series. They're more rom-com, but you know.
Yeah.
Like that Nisekoi.
Oh, what was that about? Like she's like part of a Yakuza or something?
Like they're both part of a Yakuza and they're in an arranged marriage, but they hate each other. Ooh, so scandalous.
I'm surprised you haven't read it based off that premise alone.
I might, but I have a lot of other things I gotta read first.
So the first chapter is like she tells him, you go to this abandoned tunnel. And
Tunnel of Love.
He tells her to go to like a weird house.
Like to the roof of something?
Yeah.
Where you can see UFOs.
And then dun dun dun.
Head chala.
Yeah, I guess. Okarun gets possessed by Turbo Granny, a woman who lives in the tunnels and like protecting lost girl spirits.
That is the quintessential of Japanese horror stories. An abandoned tunnel.
I'm Mob Psycho, right?
Oh my god, Mob Psycho. I listened to this podcast episode on like the 5 most haunted tunnels in Japan. Like there are more than 5.
You know what's funny is that I read this Tumblr post being like Mob Psycho 100 has to be like the most mischaracterized translation of a title without changing a single word. Because in Japan, mob is just like, oh, you're part of the masses, and psycho is another word for psychic. So he's just a psychic in the mass. Like he's supposed to be, you cannot pick him out. But in America, mob means like, you know, a gang, and psycho means like a crazy person. Like a crazy person in a gang. That's why
Kristen Bale.
Yes, Kristen Bale and that one politician, I think Eric Trump, was like, I can't believe we're all just Googling about mobs and psychos.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah. Like, when you type up mob, you get liberal well, bullshit. You get this guy. And people were like, oh my god, he doesn't know.
Kageyama, run.
Kageyama, run. So, and moving on back to this, you find out that, yes, aliens and ghosts exist.
Which is stupid, because sometimes they treat them like the same thing.
And it turns out that Momo has her own latent psychic ability she got from her grandma. And I'm like, man, grandma, knowing what this story turns into, maybe you should have been training her more.
I mean, she tried to. It's just Momo's a delinquent. It's crazy because, like, Momo gets kidnapped, right, by the aliens. And then they try to probe her in, like, the actual probing way.
South Park way.
In South Park way. I don't see any probing joke at this point. But then that alien powers awakens her psychic powers. I'm like, are you a psychic? Are you an alien? Are you a spirit? Are you, like, what are you?
Got them hands, that's what she is.
And then Okuron gets taken over by Turbo Granny. So he, like the first chapter has no control of his powers.
And no balls.
Well, I mean, the human body cannot exist without gonads.
And then, like, it's a buck wild first arc, you know? At that point, they're just, like, running around the city, being chased by Turbo Granny.
Who's the fastest old woman alive.
She looks like a crab.
And then they outrun her by going on Shikansen, which we should have in America, but capitalism won't let us.
Shikansen is a train.
Bullet train.
Bullet train. I will say, the Dandadan, the best thing going for it. Amazing art. How dare you?
Not my favorite art style. I mean, it's good. It's just like, I wouldn't say it's great.
Not bad. I didn't say it was the best.
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, some series you'll say, like, oh, it's so good just for its art.
Yeah.
Like Black Lagoon, Blue Exorcist, not Black Butler, Blue Exorcist. Those are the series I think are good for the art.
I think it's a very nice shonen art style then. How about that?
I mean, it's clean. It's clean, it's expressive, there's a lot of jokes.
Yeah, a lot of jokes. The characters, relationships I really like. And the backstory. I swear to you, when we find out Turbo Granny's backstory, it's not going to be a dry eye in the house.
Some of the backstories are a little vague though.
There was one in the newest arc where it was just like, this kid had a shitty life. And I was like, all I need is one page. He sold me. He had a shitty life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We won't go that far in our review of the Dandadan.
You're telling me we're not gonna get Miserable Bob?
Yeah,
how do you pronounce that one?
Les Miserables.
John Valjean stealing the bread.
Prisoner 182406.
We're not singing the song of Rent here.
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman. I don't know why they referenced that, but probably has to do with his past we don't know yet.
Anyways.
So yeah, that was Turbo Granny arc, basically the introduction arc.
Slow. That took me a while to get through. Because something that Dandadan will do is put like overwhelming obstacles and pressures on the characters. And like, how are they gonna get past it? Through bullshit meaning.
Yeah, it does. It's not the best written. Don't get me. It's a very fun, mindless read.
But the characters are super great.
I sold this story to Minty by being like, imagine Golden Kamuy, but it's not written as well. Last series, you could call that, I guess.
No way. I don't think many series have fun characters like this.
So yeah, that next arc is like, we got our characters. Time to introduce a girl character that looks just like our main girl.
Aira Shiratori. She is the love rival. She is the third in the love threesome. She loves, well, not really, but she's infatuated by Okuron, and she's Momo's rival. I cannot believe they look exactly like each other, except slightly different hairstyles, and her hair's pink. She's very annoying. She has like this hero's complex about her, and like how she has to be the popular girl, and how she's just better than everyone else.
Well, speaking of love triangle, what do you think about how they write love in Dandadan?
Okay, overall, the love relationship between Momo and Okuron is very cute. It's very like,
it reminds me of Inuyasha Kagome.
yeah,
Like they bicker, yeah.
They like each other. They're very comfortable with each other. See, because one of the things I like about couples is like the ones where it's like, I have no one else but you. You're the only one who sees me. Like, I really like those kind of tropey things. But I mean, it comes kind of like a little harem-y when it comes to like there's a whole bunch of love relationships, which I will say is very annoying. But it's also kind of like if you watch something like My Love Story, which is so like conflicting love rivals and stuff, it's a very boring series. Although the Dandan could probably get away with it because there are yokais and aliens.
I mean, they could have gotten away with like a more love attack romance, right? Like just off the bat, you're in love with each other, but you're just very awkward about it.
Honestly, if shonen Shonen Jump ever had a series with a couple just already together, I would lose my mind. This never has it happened. The closest we'll get is Dragon Ball.
So the Acrobat Silky arc, yay or nay?
I like the series that has a yokai like Silky. So the Acrobat Silky takes over Ira's body because they made this kind of vague where like Silky thinks of Ira as her daughter, but it's not really explained why. Just based off of one coincidence when Ira was a child and she just lost her mom, she grabbed onto Silky thinking that was her mom. And I guess since then Silky has thought of her as a daughter. But I like it when they have these yokais. This is the drawing style that's very cool. Kind of hollow-y from Bleach, but still very cool. I like this series that can do simple powers in a very cool way.
Yes.
Like, it's not complicated, you're just watching awesomeness.
Acrobat Silky was the first time, it's really the first traumatic past you see.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's no resolution, this is why she's a yokai.
It's kind of like Demon Slayers.
Oh yeah, I guess so, huh?
Where they have a traumatic past, they die, and they become like a demon yokai thing.
That's very cute when Ira hugged the Silky and called her mom.
Yeah, and then the Silky was like, I'm gonna protect Ira, so she literally brings her back to life by using her life force.
Yeah.
But Ira's very annoying.
She gets better later.
She gets better later because she's not my favorite character. Okay, because her personality is very A-type, right?
Yeah.
Very gotta go get it. And later on, she ends up being like the straight man of the group, and I love the straight mans of the group. They are the funniest characters.
Real beauty from Bobo.
Yes. Gasser.
Oh.
Soften. To be fair though, Bobo, Dawn Patch, Jelly Jiggler, you can't do the show without those three.
Yeah.
But anyway, so once you meet Okuran's love interest, of course, Momo has to have a love interest.
Well, you can skip the crab man we met at the school.
God.
Because at first you're thinking there's too much yokai. We're doing Turbo Gravity, we're doing Acrobat Silky, but oh shit, we get to see the same ass aliens from the first episode come back, but now they hired a crab dude who has a dying son. Crab man. It's a very boring arc, but I thought the fight scenes were cool. They need all of those teenagers to be naked. I don't know.
Then you see Ira is now Acrobat Silky and can use her powers.
It's very funny because at this point, Okuran and Ira basically just got their powers, so they can't use it too well.
But Ira has no limitations.
I had no limitations. I like Okuran's transformation form so fucking much.
Yeah, I don't know why Annie's obsessed with it. I'm like,
it's so hot.
I don't see it. Again, it's just hollows.
Okay, now you can talk about your stupid love interest. Now I talk about my boy Crabman and funniest joke of the series, the fact that the Crabman's blood is actually milk and his son is dying from a weird blood disease that needs like a lot of blood transfusion, but that's super expensive in space. So they just give the man a cow and like, all right, have fun with your dying son.
I do love that. That is just, again, quintessential alien.
And the Crabman didn't know how to get the milk, so he had to take a part-time job as a farmer.
Spoilers, Annie.
I fucking, by the way, love Ira's relationship with Crabman's son.
Oh my god, yes.
It's so cute. It means nothing to the plot. It means nothing to anyone except me.
You just have to somehow like Ira. At this point, she's kind of a bitch.
Like, I didn't sell out Momo, so like, I lost my cool girl status. You like me, right? Like,
No. Oh, you're nice to a little kid. Okay. I can get behind that.
Oh, you're the straight man of the group. Nice, you're straight.
Because now we have to introduce Gigi.
I like Gigi's type of characters. It reminds me of Sylvain from Fire Emblem. I feel like they don't go anywhere further with Gigi. Which is a weird statement to say because they do a lot with Gigi.
I agree. Okay, so Gigi is moving in with Momo because his house is haunted to the point where his parents almost off themselves.
What does off mean on this TikTok world?
Shut up. I don't care. I don't like saying unalive.
That's my favorite word.
I think it's funny. I think it's funny to use it in a funny way. In a serious way, it's not that funny.
Okay, fair enough.
So he's like, I need an exorcism. And we never talk about the most useless character in this series, surprisingly, which is Momo's grandmother.
Once you make an old person really hot, you kind of lose me.
And powerful.
Yeah.
But then they don't ever fight, except, I don't know, literally a page or two.
But she knows all the answers.
Yeah.
I like Turbo Granny a lot more than I like Seiko.
Turbo Granny is so funny, that's why. Because Turbo Granny lost her body, her powers are in Okuran, and has to now just live in a Maneki cat. It's so fun, and then the cat is so cute. And because that's the balance that Turbo Granny has that the grandma doesn't, is that Turbo Granny is very knowledgeable, but clearly she can't do anything because she doesn't have a body or powers.
Yeah, Okuran took her powers.
Yeah, hell, even Turbo Granny has done more. Because now she has luck powers, which is a little bullshit, but it's never been used in a way that's like super Deus Ex Machina. kinda.
Yeah, it was kind of like, I'll help you a little bit.
Yeah. Like, you could just figure out another bullshit way, so you might as well just make it luck. But, so Momo and Okuran goes with Gigi to the house to try to figure out what the fuck is going on. And what they find out is that Gigi, who used to live with Momo, but moved when he was a kid because the dad got a new job, which is, cliche plot
What
thing.
you do in Japan, right? You get a new job, you move.
So,
That's what Bandit did in the sign.
the sign, or the airport.
Well, the sign, they was moving because dad found a better job.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want a better life. I just want ice cream.
So Gigi's family moved to an area that has been where an old family has been doing sacrifices to prevent a volcano from destroying the land to please the gods. I feel like that's not a very yokai story. I mean, it's a very traditional.
And like you sacrifice things, right, to protect your land.
I guess they do at Mount Fuji.
Do you think that mom of the crazy cult family actually loved her son?
Okay, here's my question. Because it's this crazy family, right? That's they kind of run the town and they've actually been sacrificing people to appease the god. And the god ends up being a Mongolian death worm that lives underground.
Yeah.
The thing I was going to get to is that Evil Eye is a child that was sacrificed a long time ago to appease the gods. And Evil Eye was sacrificed by the family and Evil Eye took over Gigi. We find out later that the family is actually mole people.
Yeah.
Are they the same people?
I don't know.
Sacrificed the Evil Eye kid.
I'm not sure 100%. I think my headcanon is the mom was a mole person, but adopted all her kids. So she's the only one who stayed consistent.
You could be right, because the mom was the only one he recognized.
Yeah.
Which made a lot of sense, because it was why is this old lady really strong? Oh, because she's a mole man.
Was she an alien?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Or whatever you call mole people.
Mole people. You know what? I think they call it queer eye for the straight guy. That's a soft reference.
Is that?
It's for crab people. It's a little bit of a stretch.
Okay.
They were crab people who was making the town metrosexual.
Oh, okay, I remember that.
So yeah, the Evil Eye and the mole people. Evil Eye, the past was that's a little too, just edgy, sad.
I thought it was very just sad.
And then, the powers when Gigi got the Evil Eye power.
Okay, Gigi and the Evil Eye is so goddamn fucking cool. And then they're oh, it's too powerful, so no. And it's you're shitting me. Because Evil Eye just wants to destroy the world, which I think is fine. And he combines with Gigi, and it's he still wants to destroy the world. I think it's still fine. But then they're well, Gigi, you can never use the Evil Eye.
What do you think about the Evil Eye design? I really like the fact that his earrings glow.
I kind of I think it's cool that it's different, but I wish it was still in the same line as Okuran and Ira's holification looks.
Yeah.
Because it looks cool, but I'm the thing unique. Well, okay, I say unique, even though I keep comparing it to Bleach. But the look of being clearly something's up. Evil Eye's design just, I don't know, kind of Uzumaki.
Kind of look like a man in his underwear.
Honestly, a man in his underwear.
I don't know. I'm sure that other series has done this, but him making his own little possessed house that people can't leave, and then beating the shit out of them with a ball that just ricochets all over the house.
Yes.
I think that's so fucking cool.
I think it's cool too. They should have talked more about Gigi and the soccer ball though, because it took me a while to realize, oh, that's right, he does have a thing with a soccer ball, because he's teaching Okuran to play soccer ball. And then even when he comes in, there's clearly a ball attached to his bag, but you don't get to see what the ball looks like. So it could have been any ball.
Well, I'm looking real fast at the list of characters. The first characters we meet all kind of look the same, don't they?
That's what I'm talking about, man.
The only when obviously Kinta looks different, but really Zuma was a breath of fresh air. So, Buddha Tooth is
I like the Evil Eye arc. It's a bit long though. And then when the volcano happened, and then the way to save it was by using the Mongolian death worm's goo,
I guess.
or something, right? To stop it from burning the whole town. It's a little Deus Ex Machina. Dandadan doesn't have the best writing, especially when it comes to the plot. And the backstories are okay.
I thought it was cool that Momo and Mole Woman fought together against Evil Eye.
I thought it was okay. It's one of those things where you knew Momo and the mole lady was not gonna win.
I appreciate that Dandadan that every arc feels very different.
I do like that too. I do like the exploration of something, modernizing it in a way, putting a little twist. Gigi's a fun character, not the best character.
Only scene of Gigi I really like was when he said that it didn't really bother him that his parents tried to unalive themselves, but later on when he reunited with them, he was just a sobbing mess.
The other scene I like was when after the parents were saved from the hospital, they were driving from their home to Momo's house to help fix it because it got wrecked, and then the mom was like, Gigi, keep running. running. She's like, why am I running? And she does the finger bang thing too. And I was like, God damn.
I also like the fact that, like, she hates Momo because she wants to get with Okurun, right? But Gigi's like, I like Okurun. I like everyone. Okurun's like, it's impossible to hate him.
yeah, honestly. Okurun's like, I'm exhausted by him. He's also my friend though, so I have to go save his ass.
I don't like the part where, like, Gigi threatened Momo because, like, Gigi now has that Rama 1/2 thing where if warm water touches him.
Oh, yeah.
Or cold water bullshit.
Very annoying.
And then Okurun's like, I have to get strong now so that doesn't ever happen again. It's like, oh yeah, you used to be really good at DDR. Have that with him, you know? I took this from Neon Genesis.
Also, like, the whole thing where they were gonna exercise the evil eye and then they changed their mind. And I'm like, what are you gonna do then? Okurun's dumbass plan?
Hell yeah. I saw this Ben 10 scene where, like, Kevin, he absorbed the powers of the Omnitrix in order to, like, defeat this really bad dude, but he went mad with the power. So Ben was talking to his grandpa, being like, I have to put Kevin down. And the grandpa was like, that's the smart thing to do, put him down. But is that the Ben way? And so I just really like it when, like, protagonists, like, there's a smart thing to do, but I will clearly ignore it to do the good moral thing in my head.
It can work out to be cool. I don't agree. I don't think this one went the cool way.
Oh, but when Goku gives a sensu bean to Cell, that's the cool way.
No one said that was a good idea. No one said it was a good idea for them to give to Frieza either. Anyways, I guess wait till part 2 where we talk about some of the other arcs that's definitely not going to be in season 1 of the Dandadan.
Well, we finally fucking talk more about aliens in this damn story.
Damn straight.